Welcome back to another Alliance War. For Loki, we're currently rank 9, and we're taking on KenOB, Jedi Knights. KenOB is a very strong alliance. At any given time, if you take a look at the leaderboard, they will be somewhere near the top of it. Going to go ahead and boost up here to kick off my path with a 15% health boost, 20% champion boost, and a 10% attack boost. I've got Void, Stark Spidey, and Blade with me. Blade, of course, just to give the 3 poise charges to Spidey. I would actually use him. I would actually use my Blade if I had a 5-star for some of these fights. But yeah, for right now, it's all about that synergy. And I will be using Stark Spidey for this first fight, this Aggression, Fury, Limber node. A little bit of a weird first fight here. I'm not used to seeing skill champions on this node at all, really. Gonna go ahead and pop a combat regen boost just to help save a little bit of, save some item cost going through here. But we got this 6-star skill champion, and it is a Kingpin. Very, very bizarre indeed, but shouldn't be too big of a problem. Just gonna bait out heavy attacks from him, and you can see, yeah, he takes quite a bit of damage. I mean, if you get clipped by anything of his while he has those Aggression Furies up and some of those Rages and stuff, yeah, it could be a real problem, but as long as you're careful with that, as long as you just kind of bait out the heavy attacks, really not even trying to build up poise charges there, that was just an auto evade. But yeah, Kingpin, he goes down in about 30 seconds, didn't really lose much for HP either. A little bit of a softball node for me there, which I didn't mind one bit. Alright, now we have MODOK on Stun Immune and Bane. This is very common, as you've seen in some of the past wars, and as you're going to continue to see. And this is one of the better examples of how to take this MODOK. I mean, I still do the same strategy that I've shown in past videos, where I first, bait out a heavy attack, get his shield down, bait out another heavy attack, and then get my openings. But you can see here just the timings on the Bane transfer here is a little bit better than in past instances. I'm able to preserve a lot more of my life here. And getting a special attack here, getting a special off against MODOK on this node, it really helps to kind of whittle away his health, because most of the damage is coming either from Bane or just the damage debuffs that Void will hit this guy with. It's not really a lot of my auto attacks doing the work. Here, I don't really get a good transfer on Bane, but that's fine. His health was so low at that point that it wasn't doing all that much damage. And I come out of this fight with 94% health, partially due to that regen boost that I had active as well. That definitely helped out things too. Alright, next fight we have node 24, the Limber Buffet Recovery node. And we've got ourselves a 5-star skill champion, which happens to be an Agent Venom, very commonly seen on this node. And Stark Spidey will eat this guy alive, basically. Just gotta build up these poise charges. And yeah, once you get to 10, this fight is really not a big deal. I mean, I think people are just placing Agent Venom here for diversity, but I see him here so much. It's kind of surprising how often I come across this guy. Because yeah, as soon as you get those poise charges built up, then he's really no trouble at all. Taking a lot of chip damage here, actually, though. Trying to bait out those heavy attacks. But it is building up my power meter, and I'm just going to blast him with a 5-hit combo, drop the L2, and Agent Venom goes down. Fairly quick fight. Okay, moving on to Path 7, we have a Mordo mini-boss up next. And Mordo shouldn't be too big of a deal for my Void. Even if I can't keep his power controlled, just having that class advantage with my Void here, and this only being a rank 4 5-star Mordo, his special 3 is not even going to hit that hard, even if I do slip up. But Void is pretty good at controlling Mordo's power. There's also just a way to play around Mordo's power gain, which you're going to see throughout this fight. So even if you aren't using a champion that controls power, the key is to kind of find an opening right before he starts gaining power. So I'll just try to bait out a heavy attack here. This time it didn't work. I didn't get him to throw a heavy, so he does go through a full power gain phase, but that's fine. We just got to make sure to get him to throw a special here. And I'm just kind of baiting out, trying to find an opening. Here we go. Okay, so my attack's going to turn off his power gain right there. So he didn't get much of it. Alright, now he throws his special too, so we're good to go. Gonna try to bait out another heavy. There we go. So now I get his power gain turned off once again. I didn't really get too lucky on the petrified debuffs to start out this fight, so didn't have any of that assisted power control, but you can see you're just really trying to time your attacks to land right when he starts gaining that power. That way you could shut it off. Now that I have Petrify up, I mean, it doesn't really matter. He's only gaining half the power at this point. And now that I have 2 Petrifies up, he's gaining none of that power. And as soon as I can get a Fear of the Void on this guy, well, then the power is going to start going in reverse, and that's going to be pretty sweet. So there we go. The power is actually starting to reverse, because now, this time, I did get lucky. And Petrify is the first debuff that lands on him. And I think I'm going to get another one. Yeah, there we go. And watch his power. It's just going to whoop right down. Nice power gain, Mordo. Oh man, it never gets old, guys. I love when you can stack those power reversal debuffs on champions that gain power like that. All right, next fight up, we got a 5-star tech champion on the aggression, armor, explosive personality node. I have zero care in the world of who is on this node. They are going to get run over by Void. So we're just going to take Void in here. I'm going to top him off real quick with a potion. And then away we go. Let's see who it is. It is OG Vision. Okay. OG Vision, definitely just a diversity placement here. No real threat, especially once I can get a Petrify on him. Then I'm going to have to worry about his synthesis ability. So let's see if we can get one of those Petrifies going. There we go. Alright, so now he's only going to gain half the power from his synthesis, which really wasn't all that much, and in fact that's actually going to help me out, since I could just bait out another special one instead of baiting out a heavy attack or trying to land a parry or something like that. So, alright, we've got a lot of debuffs going, got all of the unique debuffs, so he's starting to take a whole lot of damage every half second here. I'll be in Fear of the Void in just a second as well, which I probably should have not even tried to get him in Fear of the Void. This fight probably would have been a little bit faster if I just held for a special 2 at the end there. So that was actually kind of a mistake in my part, but it's not really a mistake that's going to cost me anything. Just going to delay the fight 20 seconds or so. So not too big of a deal. He's going to die from this special one, and yep, there we go. Alright, OG Vision is down. Got a couple more fights here, and fortunately for me, it worked out in this war where I was able to get taxied a little bit of energy at the end here, so I don't even have to reboost. I mean, I think it only worked out that way because we were kind of running late. Kind of didn't get freed up as early as I would have liked, and then you know, ran my path a little bit later, so I kind of had to just do it this way. But hey, it worked out for saving a boost, so it's all good. All right, we got only a rank 3 champion on this Arc Overload node. Nice to see a rank 3 instead of a rank 4 or a rank 5. And going in with Stark Spidey. Didn't exactly know who was going to be on this node actually, but I figured Stark Spidey, you know, rank 3 champion. This guy should be able to handle it, no problem. I get kind of backed up against the wall here. This guy's not really giving me much room to work with. I don't want to get clipped by his special one, so I'm just blocking it. I really don't care about that chip damage. This is the final fight for Stark Spidey. He's got a lot of kinetic charges built up, so if he actually does land a hit here, if I get stunned or something, I would take a ton of damage. But once those drop off, yeah, all worry about that is over, and there we go. Got my opening, and Black Panther Civil War is down. Alright, we've got one last fight to do here. You can see in the chat here, Ronan was taxing me. He was on a grind, so yeah, he had his suicides on, so which is fine by me. My champions are very healthy. I will gladly take these fights. Very healthy and all boosted up and everything. So, all right, we just got a Voodoo on this final mini boss here, and this Voodoo. The Voodoo shouldn't be any problem here. I think they just placed him here again for kind of a diversity placement. You know, I mean, if he gains enough power, if somebody forgets about Strike Back, I could see that being a potential you know, issue. But other than that, there's nothing really to worry about. His Voodoo Special 1 and Special 2 are both pretty easy to evade. Sometimes he has a kind of a long reach on his specials, that first little staff hit that he does. So, you know, as much as I say he's relatively easy to fight, there are those times where you could slip up, you could absolutely slip up and just get clipped by that first part of his special. And yeah, it's kind of annoying. But even still, you know, unless he's putting a lot of attacks on you to give you the Loas, you know, it's really not going to do a whole lot of damage if you get clipped by a special here and there. I don't know why I'm kind of baiting out or trying not to push him to a special 2. Partway through the fight, I'm like, you know what, who cares if he gets to a special 2? So I just tap him over the edge of there and fight my way out of the corner a little bit. Land the 6 debuff, so now Fear of the Void is going to take over. And this fight is not going to last too much longer. I could have just thrown an L1 right there, but I'm always kind of wondering if there's just like a split second where, as Fear the Void is taking over, if you throw a special against Strike Back, like, will that give them a bar of power if it just happens to time perfectly as the Petrifies are kind of going away and Fear the Void's taking over? So I always kind of hold back in that instance. But in any case, that is it for my contributions to this war. KenOB, shout out to those guys. They did take the victory here. Like I said in the beginning of the video, very strong alliance. But I'm still deathless, so at least we got that going for us. But that's going to do it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, everyone, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.